like nothing changed on the map, which is not such a bad thing.
Technically, nothing really changed on our character sheets anyways.
I don't know about all of that. Stuff did change over the course of the playthrough, and I did rehost the server.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's true.
Yeah. Situations did end up changing. You know, I might have made, like, focuses and edits and things. Yeah, fuck you, buddy, yeah. Hey, you didn't think about that, did you, asshole?
No.
No.
I didn't think so. Fucking douche. Let's go ahead and disappear that car. Let's disappear that car. Fucking you were driving that ugly son of a bitch. And then Franklin Knight driving, we'll say this.
The douche-mobile.
Right, well, Savage. And then this ends up being converted into a token. That's not where we convert things into tokens, Grimith. There we go. Now we need to change the facing, because God help me. Make that top down. Give all players ownership.
What?
We can now change this to a token. Make that top down. And give ownership. And
crash.
And which vehicle were you looking to acquire?
The
Ryan?
one that will maintain its windows.
Okay. That's fine. Go ahead and change this.
Although there are a couple Ferraris in the parking lot.
You went with the Audi, so you have...
It has both. Like, the doors are already open, so...
It's going to have those. It's going to have those beautiful wings associated with it.
So we have a
Ferrari
Volkswagen
is definitely what you want in the zombie apocalypse because, you know, gas mileage is... Fuck that.
Right, because a Volkswagen van and a muscle car gets so much better.
Hey, man. Oh, hey, Potman's taking whatever he found the keys to. Are you kidding me? He can't hotwire with a goddamn...
The same reason I basically took the one I didn't have to break into and potentially ruin the defensiveness of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Trusty Tony took the one that had the biggest...
Trusty Tony took the first one.
He took the biggest one he saw so everybody could fit, and then he's riding alone.
With the little girl. Riding with the little girl.
Oh yeah, the token's just not there.
Yeah, don't worry about it. She'll be there eventually.
Are the windows spray painted?
In a van down by the river.
Oh, God.
And of course, I'm leading them, so I'm leading the convoy.
Convoy!
Beep, beep.
And your, trio of stolen vehicles.
And would it have been possible to ask Electro what kind of car Frankie fucking Liar took or owned?
First of all,
looking for a physical description.
First of all, the owner of Potman's car is dead. Second of all, he didn't... It was unlocked, the keys were right there.
Let's be honest. All the cars that are still out here probably belong to deceased owners.
Sounds about right. I mean, those guys, you can make a case for them, breaking windows, hot wiring. Potman just grabbed some keys.
There's nothing wrong with a screwdriver sticking out of the ignition thing.
Absolutely nothing wrong.
As for a whole description thing, he had never seen... Electro had never seen what Dr. Knight drove.
What about the other doctors?
Dr. Knight and Dr. Reynolds. Dr. Reynolds was the one who pointed out they parked. Dr. Reynolds had not seen it either. Dr. Knight fucking...
Savage.
And Dr. Savage. He just stormed off.
Well, fuck.
Riding off into the sunset. Although it's darkness outside. Probably like 1 a.m. when you guys are leaving.
Can't they drive?
Yeah, like we have a sleep schedule anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really drive that fast. It's winding roads, dark.
Very dark. You guys are actually getting, like, once you drive off the map that's depicted here, you're basically going into trees.
Yeah, all those reasons are kind of why I'm looking for any signs of possible distress. They might have a 2-hour head start, but they might not have made it 2 hours away.
Or they could be anywhere.
I'm just
That
saying.
They've just caught fire.
Keeping the possibilities open.
I like to think that Knight had a sudden attack of, morality.
Or that he's had a sudden attack of fingernails in his face or something.
Yeah, he had a nimble zombie just chilling in his car, kind of like one of the scenes from
I was
Jurassic Park.
thinking more like the person he kidnapped.
Ah, true enough.
You certainly haven't seen any infected on the roads.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't
Well,
mean they aren't out there.
We're gonna keep driving until an event happens that most likely will happen to take us off the road, and we'll start having to fight in a national forest.
Well, there's definitely something to keep in consideration about Potman's observation. If this is a continuation of the tests, they lit us out.
Indeed, they did.
True.
It could very well be more of a continuation.
I mean, obviously it's a live fire test where we can die, but
Well, it's been that way the entire time.
exactly.
If we fail, we fail. We're just another
Potman's
body.
increasingly thinking this whole thing has been one big test.
Question for you, though, Eugene. While we're in the car, would you be telling stories of your grandmother?
No.
He'd be too busy driving.
I mean, unless she asked.
Would ask where the hell we're headed at this point.
Romero, obviously. Duh. Idiot.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If I shall now direct all of your wonderful attentions to this handy-dandy location here, where I will use the convenient light source allowing you folks to see match the picked location. You folks are currently here at the military base. You folks end up getting down to like south here before really here, before roads end up diverging off and splitting, and you actually end up leaving the National Park Forest Reserve. You got like a road that goes down towards Summer Meadow. You got a road that leads on further to Romero. No sort of any other towns of any note, or even villages, basically, between the two.
Are we supposed to be seeing something?
You most certainly are.
Just see the map that's kind of shaded over and no changes being made.
You're seeing
Yeah, I
the
don't
map
have
that's
vision.
currently shaded over and no change is being
Yeah,
made.
it looks like it's in dim lighting and nothing is happening other than it keeps zooming out and in once in a while.
Interesting.
Zoom and enhance.
Zoom in.
I've got no vision on the map.
Why don't I track all of you fucking players down to it?
that,
And now I can see match.
There we go.
It's interesting. I would have figured if I counted him as a PC and I gave you all ownership over him, and, well, not ownership, but he, like, broadcasted Light as a player character. Whatever.
Apparently not.
In that case, you guys haven't been able to see all that shit as brightly lit on all of the other maps, like the tables, like I thought you were.
Tables?
Oh, like the fear tables,
Oh.
stuff like that?
Yeah, they've always been in like fog of war, dim lighting. Like we've seen it before, but we can't see it right now.
Interesting. Well, obviously not right now. You can't even see that map right now.
Right. You know
But
what I
we
mean.
could-
I always thought those were brightly lit instead of dim. For
Oh
you
no,
folks.
it's like
They were dim.
StarCraft old information map.
Interesting. Fucking MapTool Java shit.
I mean, it was readable, but it wasn't bright.
Yeah, because it was all bright for me, and I figured if I added these little night sources. Well, it's a good thing that I learned this.
crash serves purpose.
Yeah. Good. We had a crash. I tried to show you all a map for placement. Good talk, everyone. You learned
You're
something new.
explaining it like we're supposed to be seeing something. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
I ain't seeing shit.
That's great.
I ain't seen shit, Potman.
So yes, it ends up being the military base. You folks are leaving, and you get to about there before the road ends up diverging, and you've got thoroughfares which lead through like Summer Meadow, and then heading on down towards main roads, and then you've got a road which leads to Romero. No real like towns of import. There might be like little villages on the way through, like 100, 200 people, but nothing of significance that I would devise a name for it.
Did we drive through like dirt roads, or is it all well paved?
It's fairly well paved.
In Pennsylvania?
Until you leave the forest reserve and actually get onto State Road.
Okay, there you go.
As we pass,
It's actually when you're leaving the forest reserve that you're given the option to turn.
Okay, well, Potman's going to be turning towards Romero.
Same here.
yeah.
Cat's gonna ask when we make the turn. So, other than you guys living there, what's in Romero?
Oh, you
There's
know.
not much there, from what I remember.
The only person she can ask is Potman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Potman has to explain.
Oh, well, that's where my cabin is, and my farm.
I already know what that farm is, don't I?
Yeah. It's a cash crop.
Oh yeah. Obviously,
Um,
just farming up some coffee.
but no, I grow weed.
I see you missed the joke.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
It's okay, Eugene.
All right. And my grandma lives there.
Your grandma,
And
think she's
what?
okay?
probably. Yeah, she's a bootlegger.
Mm,
And
actually,
Tony lives there.
living
What?
during the Prohibition.
I think so.
Oh man.
I don't know the details exactly. It's pretty much the family business.
Family business of illicit drug trafficking.
I mean, yeah, if there's a prohibition, we break it.
I mean, I really don't really have anywhere to go anymore. Judging by what I saw back in Summer Meadows, this is only going to get worse.
No shit. Fucking zombie rats. It's only a matter of time.
Exactly. Imagine if it gets into the bird population too.
No.
Just no.
Cruising along on the little dirt roads, around hills, over hills.
I want to imagine like what Tony's doing with not doing, but how she's dealing with having a comatose little girl in like a backseat.
I imagine she's very quiet.
I'm picturing him talking his head off to her.
So well behaved, it's like she's not even there.
Just emptying his heart.
Just like, you know, you really listen. It's like, you don't talk back like
You
Potman
get
or
me. For a little fucking kid, you're all right.
You complete me.
no.
Whoa,
Whoa, no.
dude.
Do we pass through any little podunk towns?
Damn it, I just fucking described that
Okay,
shit.
so yes. Are
There's some
there
podunk towns.
are there any cars that look too nice to be there?
There are...
What the fuck?
You know what I'm asking.
I know what you're asking, and
That
I'm
parking
saying...
lot was full of very nice vehicles.
And I'm saying pitch black at night in these very poorly lit rural streets. Roads. You can't see much of shit.
Time to use a flashlight.
Still looking.
Okay, as you end up whipping past. Well, there ends up being, since Tony's the leader of the caravan, there's a pretty big warning sign saying that no traffic is permitted to be on the roads in this area. Return to your home immediately.
It's a good thing we're not traffic.
or
Yeah.
proceed to the military checkpoint for evacuation.
Evacuation, huh?
That doesn't
Um,
sound like a good place to be.
And then you drive past it, and then Potman and the cat see it.
yeah, I'm just gonna
And then they drive past, and then Fletch, who has his eyes peeled looking for any sort of vehicle that could lead to his forlorn lust, passes by that too.
we're just gonna keep going until we can't go anymore, I guess.
You ought to drive up to.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna drive to the military, whatever it, or at least until before that, I guess.
All right.
Unless anyone wants to yell at me while we drive, because we're not really going that fast.
Little girl yells at you.
You folks end up going on a good bit of distance. Dirt roads, traveling by, meandering hills as you folks make your way across the Appalachian Mountains. Not exactly the best driving terrain. You've got like some folks who like have like trailers or like homes out. As I said through, you pass by villages of like maybe 100 people. There's no stores, no places to stop. There are no points of significance between Summer Meadow and Romero.
Mm-hmm.
It's very dark out. You can go at a pretty decent speed. No real traffic on the roads. Just you three, as a matter of fact, as it turns out.
Almost
Yeah.
like you're not supposed to be driving.
Well, we're gonna keep driving.
It's cool. And then off in the distance, you can notice that the sky appears to be getting a bit brighter, as if light pollution were somehow entering. And far in the distance, maybe like a mile, got a good bit of light. It's so well lit. As it turns out, there is a rather vast and comprehensive, what you imagine is like a makeshift military checkpoint, complete with highly armored vehicles. Quite a few individuals wielding equipment, which you might consider to be superior to yours, depending on your current situation.
Upon seeing that, I would flash my lights to the car ahead of me once and then turn them off and stop.
Tony's probably gonna turn off way before that once he spots the side of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, as soon as I see it, kind of
Yeah.
signal them and kill my lights and then come to a stop.
We're
Eugene,
gonna-
kill the lights.
Stop too.
Probably gonna have to walk the rest of the way.
Does it seem like they're shooting any spotlights over here or anything?
Not directly, no. Not like they might have noticed you, but the entire area surrounding, like, for, say, a mile, you guys have, like, stopped, a good distance away. It's very well lit. But, like, for an entire mile around, it is extremely well lit.
Mhm.
They've got, like, impromptu fencing up. They've used, like, Humvees, and, like, APCs to, like, make, like, makeshift barriers. They are fucking serious about this.
Get out and
Does
go
it
up
look
to
like
walk.
they're trying to keep people out, or trying to keep things in?
It's too much of a distance to really tell, like, what direction they're focusing on.
Well, that sign would suggest we're inside the quarantine.
Yes.
I would get out of the car and walk up to the next one to converse.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we're gonna all meet up at the middle car.
I guess we're all meeting up at the muscle car.
Sans little girl.
Well, the little girl's safe in there. It's unless a bear
That's what you
comes.
think.
Okay, so it looks like they're quarantining the place.
Look,
Yes, it does.
last time I came up against a cordon, it didn't end very happily.
So what do? We drive back down to Summer Meadow, which is probably just the exact same thing.
First-
Place we left. What?
There's no way to go back down. You couldn't do anything to make me go back.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh,
if we go off road, we might be able to sneak around through the forest. Might have to go quite a bit off road, but
Over the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah,
I'm
I would be sketchy to do that even with a four-wheel drive vehicle, but
I meant on foot.
yeah.
I'm really good at hiking.
And we're kind of not equipped or supplied for
we have very little food,
anything.
Potman.
What? Don't we have like 12 days of trail rations?
No,
We
you
lost
have
all
like
of that.
no, you have like 12 survival rations, which is
Okay.
like one meal.
Gotcha.
If we go
You have 12 meals.
we have effectively at eating one meal a day. We have 2 and a half. We have 2 days worth of food. And unless you know how to live off the land, Potman.
I do actually.
He does.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not amazing at it, but I can definitely feed myself.
Not to mention if we're worried about zombie rats and who knows what
Tony,
else being out there.
you know I'm basically a hillbilly.
Basically.
Potman. God damn it. Okay.
Man, I grow weed in the Appalachian Mountains.
Okay. Also, we have another problem. What do we do with this little girl?
I don't know.
Carrying her through the Appalachian Mountains and feeding her will probably, get us killed.
Hmm.
Well...
We could
I don't know
somehow
what-
leave her to be found by the military jerks, but
What else are we gonna do though?
We carry her through the wilderness where she'll probably get us killed, or we'll end
Look,
up not being
I'm
able
not
to.
even convinced we should go trudging through the wilderness.
Then what are we gonna do? Walk up to the
I don't
cordons?
know, but our biggest concern has been the infected wildlife, right?
My biggest concern right now is the people with guns.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as far as the whole unknown thing and the spreading of this.
Right, so I'd rather get past that line to put the scary people with guns between me and the spreading infected.
Last time we tried to go through the woods, they found us.
Last time we tried to go through the woods, we were trying to outrun a helicopter.
Yeah.
After we just
they
wrecked
were
a car.
they were waiting for me when I got there.
Because you were trying to outrun a helicopter.
Well, they were really waiting.
Trying to outrun a helicopter. So I guess we're
You
going
still,
to.
you still think this is part of their test, huh?
Probably.
Off in the distance, Fletch can hear what sounds like to be the revving of a vehicle starting up.
You don't think they're trying to herd us back into Summer Meadow?
Fuck, I hope not.
No.
I just want to see my grandma.
Somebody's getting a vehicle ready over there.
Looks like two of the Humvees are actually like peeling off away from like the rest of the group and are pulling onto the road and heading in your direction.
I think they saw us before we killed the lights.
I think
Well,
we should fucking book it away from these cars.
Take
unless
what we
wanna get
can,
caught.
leave the kid, I guess. And just book it into the woods, I guess.
Keep doing this, they can't do too much more. Actually affect her.
Is there anything of immediate use in the car?
Not even worrying about that. I'm just taking my gun and what little
Anything-
food.
The equipment you brought, that's useful. Other than that, like, no. There's
Oh,
no,
well.
like, save me, like, easy button that you can
Well,
use
no,
to,
I'm wondering
escape.
if there's any sort of tools or anything in the glove box or...
You could certainly spend the time to maybe, like, pop the trunk and look for, like, some sort of toolkit.
Yeah. I guess we just go.
I think we're just going.
Mm-hmm.
So you folks are leaving your vehicles behind and like rushing off into the wilderness?
Pretty much.
Yep.
Well, they I would suggest we could drive back the other way, but that's already been suggested, and
Yeah.
at least half the group said fuck no, basically.
Okay.
Into the wilderness.
The group abandons their cars and the little girl and rushes off into the wilderness. Which direction are you running off into the wilderness?
I don't know, like north.
Okay.
We're gonna go north.
Would south lead us towards water,
Well, south would lead us towards Summer Meadow.
but also towards the river, right?
South would lead you towards the river, yes.
Wouldn't the river possibly, like, depending on how
of course
far,
it would. Let's go towards the river.
We can at least rely on fresh water. Freshest
and
water.
not being able to be tracked by scent very easily?
Yep. And being able to spearfish.
I hate to say this, but I think that surgery, if there was one, might have been to put an RFID in us.
What the fuck is an RFID?
Radio frequency identification.
Nerd.
All right, and so the session ends off with the group away from the military base, seeing approaching Humvees, bundling out of the vehicles, leaving behind the vehicles and the little girl, and striking off.
This is obviously not the worst decision we could have made.
We could have done worse.
We could
How?
have tried to run the fucking blockade.
I was tempted to do it.
So was I.
Just do it with lights off. They'll never see you coming.
No, what I was
Potman
going
was
to
just talking about coming from a family of bootleggers, and he's in a fucking muscle car. I'm
Hey,
like,
hey, if you folks want to try, you're more than welcome to.
no, it's the idea. The idea would not have made it past.
My vote would honestly be turn the cars around and outrun the Humvees.
I don't think we can outrun the Humvees.
They're not super fast vehicles.
What
No,
he's
but
saying
they've
is that
got
he
much-
doesn't think his Volkswagen van can outrun.
I don't think my Volkswagen.
Well, that's
van-
why you leave the little girl in there for them, and then we use the other two cars.
Well-
and just basically use the van to block the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then go where? Back to Summer Meadow?
There have to be other roads.
do there?
Do there have to be other roads? This is a B movie.
I don't know. You guys know the area better than I would.
Do we?
Cat would.
Do we? We drove through Summer Meadow to go to Atlantic City. That's just
Yeah, Summer Meadow.
There are certainly other country roads that lead through the mountains. The question would be like, would you like a road which is serviceable enough for you to feel comfortable driving a vehicle on?
That doesn't stop us from running out of Summer Meadow in that SUV.
That did not stop you from running out of Summer
Now,
So
the
I've been
grain
silent.
silo stopped us from getting out, but not the condition of the roads.
I wouldn't even say the grain silo was what stopped us. It was a certain lead foot.
It might or might not have said floor it.
Yes.
Well, I think we just wandered off into the woods, though.
Yep,
It would probably obviously.
Do we really want to do that, or do we want to try driving back?
Potman's voting. In the very short time we have to vote, Potman is voting for going off into the woods.
And Trusty Tony doesn't really want to go back to Summer Meadow.
Cat does not want to think about Summer Meadow at all.
So I think that's three. I think that's one vote for Woods, two votes for not Summer Meadow.
And hey, Fletch is more than capable of making his own choice in life and doing what he wants to do.
Go find
For
a
sure.
horse, steal it, and just ride off.
Become horse thief.
Yeah.
Implying he isn't already
Yes,
one.
he can go live his own life outside of the campaign.
Exactly. So it's like the choice is either fall in or look for a new character.
So what do you want?
You don't have to look for a new character. There's always a choice.
Yeah.
Well, hope berries are in season.
Hell, we don't even have to just end the session here. We end the entire campaign here as well, as you folks would like.
We all just go fuck off somewhere.
No, we
In the
just,
woods.
if that were the case, I would say we try to blow through the blockade.
If we're gonna end the session tonight, we're gonna end it in style.
With an explosion.
We gotta drift our way into the blockade.
We end the campaign, in the movie, running off into the first season 1 is ended.
I mean, honestly, we could take care of the Humvee.
What?
We have a grenade launcher.
You're telling us about killing humans.
And they probably have an LMG.
Yeah, they're not going to know to open fire.
There are 2 Humvees which peeled off. Yes.
Yeah.
Just saying, it's an option if it comes to it.
The fun part is, they could be coming to help us evacuate. But
You know,
They
none
could
of us are
honestly
willing.
be trying. They might not even be connected.
But none of us are even remotely willing to trust the government anymore.
No.
It's true, they could be there to assist you with the whole evacuation process due to the dangers. They could be there to kill you on sight because your presence was reported by either another soldier, like, say, someone who left the facility, or by the agent Thoran himself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what gets me is that, 3 cars left ahead of us. And, not long ahead of us, and by the time we got here, that place was not in a commotion.
Well, they could have just driven in a completely different direction.
You mean the one other direction?
They could have driven towards Summer Meadow, yes.
The place where at least one of them, or multiple of them, knew there was a zombie outbreak?
Was.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know the current state of Summer Meadow.
The entire zombie infestation is taken care of, and now we're just playing paranoia.
Yeah.
You guys love how I changed the rule system without you even noticing.
That's why he did this whole character sheet integration thing.
Oh man. So,
Like-
when do I get to spend perversity point?
No, you guys are still using the all
I already
flesh bean
spent those.
system. You don't understand.
It's that kind of game.
If we actually use the rule set, then you would obviously know we were using the rule set.
And we're not cleared for that, and, well, you know what happens when we know that.
Yeah, that's orange level.
I only
We're
have green.
still in
Do you even
for red.
know about what that color is?
That's Super Sigma.
Dude, you're not allowed to know about orange.
Like, what would you think was happening with all those different clearance levels in the military base, guys? Come on.
I didn't want to think.
Fucking, come on.
Thinking.
The
I still
zombie
wanna-
master can only give you so many bones.
I still want to find Knight.
I want to find night.
well,
Dude,
it is
okay.
currently like 2 a.m.
We found a knight. Are you talking
Yeah.
about a knight in shining armor? Well, it's a little bit
Well,
too late
he's
for that.
probably not in the forest.
If he was in on the whole thing, he probably just went to the checkpoint.
Yep.
Three sessions from now, you find him at a log cabin in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains.
And we all
Haha!
That bitch is gonna die and not be found until next spring.
They call him the Iceman.
because he's a corpse surrounded
Because
by
he never lit his stove during winter and he froze.